Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see Alvil going up against the top coach in Indonesia, I would say right now, Coach Keskute and NMM.
Now we've got a draft ready for you guys already, and it seems like we have already went through a little bit here. So let's just quickly wrap up and take a look at the bans so far with the Matilda, Badang, and Joy banned out from the RRQ side. Phobias, Chosen, and Fatty for the right side.
They're really going for comfort. Well, quite. I mean, I wouldn't say rare, but unique to see a Hayabusa picked up this early on. But then they already picked up the Hilda alongside with it so that they don't have to worry about the Hayabusa getting bothered. But there are still some picks that could go for high invade. Continuing the trend for the broadcast so far, Badang is getting banned out, picked even more. But in other streams as well, Jawhead's actually a rising commodity. So let's see if that'll come into play.
The Harith has also been left open in the banning phase here, something we haven't seen in Stream A. Both games, Team Liquid are banning it away from Flash. So I wonder if EVO's Holy will pick up the Harith as the last pick on the red side here to set up for Erlan. A pretty good matchup as well against the Granger. It's not horrible, but it does seem like it will be the Irithel in the gold lane for Erlan, the counter pick towards the Granger in the matchup.
Let's see if, aside of the matchup, how it's going to be faring in the team fights, because right now RRQ doesn't have enough to actually bother this Irithel properly. But then they still waiting on the front lines for EVO's Holy.
RRQ, which is lineup so far, seems like they really want to focus on single targets. Like they don't have anything that really just deals with the opponents in a massive scale.
Yeah, they're still definitely setting up for possibly a Tigreal. That's something that RRQ Hoshi has kind of, you know, turned to after M6. Because at M6, I think it was still very pick-off or very Bellericky for some reason. Yeah. Now, they finally are putting Edok on the Tigreal, which he has performed really well on. So, I will be kind of surprised if EVOs decide to actually let go of the Tigreal. Because if they don't ban it out here, they're probably going to pick it up away, deny it from RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah. Let's see if they'll go with that. I believe a Jawhead ban was committed by RRQ Hoshi. So with that gone, let's see if EVO's Holy will consider going for the single target pickoff style of Roamer for themselves. They can go Cho if they want to, but I'd want to see something a little bit beefier. Considering that with the threat of the Tigreal still available, yeah, I think I'm on the boat too of they should just take it away in their fourth pick.
For EVO's Holy, still also, they kind of need the frontliners here. I think Hylos will be a pretty good choice to go for too. I think Hylos Tigreal will definitely be the best choice scenario for EVO's Holy. They decide to ban out the Eve, so really choking out Rins in that mid lane. No Novaria, no Juicin, no Eve. Is he going to be forced on something like a Sicilian, another scaler, together with Granger? It might be a bit too greedy to go for that, no?
Yeah, I'd want to see them going with a little bit more crowd control, so they could go with the Aurora if they want to. Considering that if they decide to go for the Tigreal high-loss route that we brought up, you need that extra crowd of control to delay the inevitable invades that'll come in. At least you can trade out some HP, maybe even cause EVO's Holy to commit a mistake, getting crowd controlled at the wrong time, meaning that you can trade that out as well. Crowd control is more required right now for RRQ Hoshi in my books.
Just been a pick. Oh, it is going to be the Hylos.
Oh, that is ground control.
Hovered over. Tigreal still up for grabs. They go for the Farsa against this composition. Hey, a lot of ways to die for the side of EVO's Holy. This is a dive comp from EVO's Holy. So the fact that Rins wants to go for the Farsa. Last time we saw the Farsa, he got a lot of hate for it. It was up against SRG, the Lost, where he popped in the ult very naively. Around like the river pit or a river.
Yeah.
And he got punished for it. So last pick, I think it's still good for the Tig.
Yeah. Especially with the Guinevere there. You're going to be applying so much pressure to RRQ Hoshi because for them, they need to land things to be able to get a good crowd control. It's not super straightforward to crowd control with either a Farsa or a Guinevere. Yeah, for Guinevere, it's like, oh, just tap it and aim it. But yeah, if you miss it, you won't have it for quite some time. So they do go for the Cho instead that we mentioned earlier, instead of going for the big AoE. This still applies the pressure and it's going to be even more pressure. Cho gets around the map quicker compared to the Tigreal. So RRQ Hoshi, they might be sweating a bit in this one if EVO's Holy can make the most out of their high invade Roman EXP.
Honestly, both of these two teams kind of seems like they're trying to go super high octane kind of pacing. They have got a lot of damage within of their ranks, so I'm just a little bit afraid for Rins, especially just hanging around the backside, trying to make full use of the feathered airstrike. But we're gonna have to really just tune in, watch how this game is gonna unfold between these two teams. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is EVO's Holy. They will be going up against RRQ Hoshi. How's that gonna be? Well, we're going into the land of Dawn, and this is the classic derby.
Oh, the new era of the classic derby, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna dive straight into the land of Dawn. It's EVO's Holy with Albert, RRQ Hoshi with Sutsujin. The two rivals now on the opposite side of the map, opposite sides of their teams, their respective teams. Suyo versus Hayabusa.
See if we're gonna get the anime battle that we usually ask for when we see two assassins, sound effects pack included. And to say that I am scared for Rins is an understatement. But at the same time, I don't know, a part of me thinks that maybe Rins might not have that difficult a time here. He made it a little bit easier by giving himself Purify, of course. And usually we've seen Farsas in the highest level make the most of the stun that they can get activating the Curse of Crow. I think Rins can pull it off.
I do think so too. It's just going to be difficult, right? He has to be very on point with the skills, the positioning, especially. And knowing Rins, he's much more of a I want to get in your face type of guy. I don't think he's he's not a Farsa guy. He's more like a Lilia, Lunox, you know, Kadita kind of guy. But you put him on a pick like this, a very safe backliner. I don't know. We'll just have to see, right? It could be extra aggressive. It could be extra good, or you can get picked up very easily. Key also forced to use the flicker early.
Yeah, okay. Trading with Edok in mid. So, RRQ Hoshi, seems like Rins might be... This might be one of those games where his fingers are just twitching just a little bit because he wants to do a little bit more.
He wants to flicker forward.
He wants to flicker forward, just anything. Even though he doesn't have a flicker, he wants to flicker forward. But might as well, I think, for him, yeah, you really got to be patient in this one. Unless you want Surprise to be your main element. You're using the Wings by Wings to go forward to get that stun off. That means that's pressure now onto Edok and Dyrant to back him up properly so that he can exit, reposition with a Feathered Airstrike.
Okay, rotation. Key going to be able to soak in the XP wave completely to get level 4. Does seem like EVO's Holy have that level 4 power spike. Deposit doesn't have that level 4. It will be him zoned away. Albert now just going in with a poke. Jiku, no way. The Dragon locking in onto Tyrant. Not enough damage to take him down just yet. Revitalize. Going in and smacking Albert down. That's the dispersion as Key watas him into that first blood.
Okay, that did not go well for RRQ Hoshi. I thought they had the advantage, but then EVO's Holy with a turnaround right away. Now they have a good position for themselves around this turtle, but they're not going to be committing it just yet. Albert wants to get his orange first. Maybe they'll come back for it later. Maybe not even. Maybe they might just give it.
Just super slow for EVO's Holy. They don't need to go in for these fights, right? They know that they should be in a better position to actually go and fight it out for the neutral objectives. Now, it's EVO's Holy playing on the other side of the map. Sutsujin will be the one to go on the turtle. Key opening it up, noticing Sutsujin. It should still just be a free turtle. Sutsujin picks it up.
Yeah, after all the trades that happened there, EVO's Holy just decided to back off. Next sequence, we might be seeing... Oh, here in mid, yeah, they spot out Edok. Let's see if they'll try to invade and take a purple buff away from the Hayabusa. Wow, but they don't want to risk it. Unless... Oh.
Way the Dragon onto the wall. Albert walks up. Key picks up the second kill of the game. Now Quad Shadow in. Albert still able to survive the Feather Airstrike. Albert taken down by Rins. Key, Jeet Kune Do flickers out. It will be a 1-for-1 trade Edok for Albert.
Now I get why EVO's Holy was thinking about twice about actually invading. They committed it, they got Edok, but unfortunately Albert was the one picked off there. So now EVO's Holy, hopefully they don't turn it around into themselves and say, hey, let's just be a little bit more careful. No, you're gonna have to commit the play somewhere to show RRQ Hoshi that, yeah, we sort of maybe flubbed the initial sequences that we wanted to do, but we're gonna keep you on your toes. We're still gonna be playing aggressive and trying to make plays for ourselves.
Definitely. Well played there from RRQ Hoshi. It looked like it would just be a clean pick into maybe a purple buff steal with him not having purple.
Another one.
Key Way of the Dragon, good angle, dispersion, rotation, Sutsujin gets away. Reggie doesn't want to commit that glorious pathway, will just be happy with Sutsujin taken low.
Yeah, so you can also see that RRQ Hoshi is respecting the truth of the fact that EVO's Holy's lineup is aggressive. There is going to be a high chance that there will be tigers in their own jungle, and the kingdom isn't as safe. So RRQ Hoshi, I like how, despite them getting some nice trades, they're also a little bit more calculated with it. But EVO's Holy, they are reminding RRQ Hoshi just how strong this lineup is in the early to mid.
Toy's been holding up really well. Actually has an XP lead up against Erlan too. So in the matchup, doing well in that counter. It's a 1v1 up top. Toy actually winning out in the trade. Yeah. Key walking up forward, doesn't have the flicker, so he's just there to give Erlan full clear, a shove up top.
Yeah, Toy has not been afraid to trade with this Irithel. They've been seeing each other in mid. Oh, Edok with the catch.
Spatial migration, Val Requiem in the feathered airstrike, and even the shadow kill from Sutsujin just to get things done. 3 ultimates committed down for the roamer. Now EVO's Holy make their way onto the turtle, already holding onto it. Diamond walks up, gets stunned by Reggie. Good peel. Sutsujin taking control over the turtle, despite not having those ultimates. Claims an Erlan. He purifies out of the spatial migration. Now walks up with a heavy crossbow. Glorious pathway. Diamond still able to survive. Now finally gets cut down by Albert.
Good trading by both of these teams. RRQ Hoshi, they full committed 3 ultimates before that turtle, but because they knew it was Key that was the one taken away, and Reggie is just attacking Revitalize, they said, we can risk it. I don't think EVO's Holy will go try to heavily contest that turtle. They contested the post-turtle though, and that's what RRQ Hoshi probably didn't expect.
Wow, really good purify there from Depazet. I believe just taking away the stacks from the Shuriken to get him out of the Shadow Kill. I think Sutsujin popped in the Shadow Kill, but only got 1 proc onto him before it translated over.
Yeah, he did use it, but he wasn't able to really maximize the damage, or he just maybe canceled it out as well. Item-wise, nothing too crazy. We have Dreadnoughts on the 2 roamers, but we're not really feeling the reduction of the physical damage brought out by the Hayabusa and the Suyo as well. So now, we're just going to be waiting out to see who can win the next big trade, because so far, Rins, what we've been worried about with him, he's been positioning himself very well and timing the feathered airstrike really well, to the point where EVO's Holy, they can't seem to get that Farsa.
Seems for EVO's Holy, they are actually struggling to look for an angle with the diversion, with the G2 no here, feather airstrike. Committed down, spatial migration from Edok whiffs. Reggie walks up the glorious pathway. He goes in, Wait the Dragon only to lock down Edok, and he gets bursted down by Sutsujin. Now, EVO's Holy are on the back foot, backing away as Toy gunned them down a bit.
Might have been a bit forced there by Key. He didn't have the complete angle, but he still decided to try and commit it. Maybe, even though it's not going to reposition the target, it's still crowd control. Maybe EVO's Holy can finish it off, but no, at the end, they just lost their roamer, and EVO's Holy has to try and hold on to this tower in the mid, or it's going to be bad for them.
Queller from Albert. Toy still able to clear out that wave. Both teams shoving in those waves. Clearing it out. Albert again with the poke, this time catching 2. Taking Rins to half of the airstrike over to Reggie. Glorious pathway down. Tyron actually put in enough damage. Reggie still able to survive. Now they collapse onto Tyron, but he has to revitalize. Edok escaping a free turtle again for the mercenary.
Felt like that was a domino effect of Key getting picked off there in the mid. The fact that RRQ Hoshi was able to get in position for that turtle first meant that, well, Reggie just had to eat feathered airstrike because they didn't have someone mobile. Oh, okay, Sutsujin's not gonna get anyone, but you see how RRQ Hoshi, they're attacking from different angles. They're very fluid in how they're approaching potential pickoffs.
Okay, nice version into the back, good kick as well. No revitalize for Dyron. It's still Depazet though. Assassinated Toy, able to pick up the kill. Now goes in for the Rhapsody, cancelled out spatial migration, dodged away from by Key. Flicker and conceal to escape.
Now RRQ Hoshi has taken the momentum. EVO's Holy seems like they're reminded just how they want to play, because RRQ Hoshi is playing like how EVO's Holy wants to play with their lineup, or how they did it in the early game. But now with RRQ Hoshi in a little bit more of a comfortable spot, Toy now out of lane, winning against that Irithel, means that RRQ Hoshi has the damage for most of any situation that they want to commit. Even though it doesn't look like it's going to turn into a full-on team fight, they will have the damage that they need for any situation now.
And man, this is amazing from Toy. We've been talking a lot about, Toy and Skylar, how maybe Toy might not be able to step into those shoes quickly, but He's doing amazing. Damage leaderboard topping it, gold leaderboard topping it as well. And this is up against a Loi. This is up against an Irithel, a counter matchup.
Yeah, well, I had faith, man. I mean, look, you're playing with 4 dudes who played in the World Championship. You're either gonna crumble under the pressure, although that will be rare, or you're gonna be the chillest guy in the world thinking, I played with 4 guys who played in the World Championship. I feel like that's what we're seeing, yeah. And I feel like that also allowed Toy to be more confident with himself. The fact that he beat Erlan in lane, usually actually shoving past the midpoint of the lane against that Irithel, knowing that, hey, if I mess up, they can cover for me, but he hasn't messed up so far.
Not yet. Doesn't look like he will. With his positioning, with the Purify, it's going to be very tough for EVHL to actually, manage a flank on him. Yeah. Dyron spotting them out. Erlan spotted. Key in the bush. Trying to go for it. Edok will be kicked back in. Erlan with a heavy crossbow deals some damage. Well, look at the flank! Now Dyron jumping in. Erlan finding the kill. Still able to escape as well. Edok for Reggie and Key. 2 for 1. Value for the Kingdom.
3-0-3 for Toy and EVHL. It is slipping out of their hands. Prince gets whacked a bit by the Lord, but they are going to be getting the Lord without a problem as Albert and Depa said, oh, if you guys get killed here, that's not going to be good for EVOS. Good thing they decided, yeah, not worth it. Let's just back off. Now they have to defend with the Lord coming.
And now it is all in RRQ's hands. They can play the slow game. They can siege too with the range that they have. Yeah. Farsa, Granger. We were mentioning, with this composition, they've got to be the ones who are careful in the mid game, but it seems they've gotten such a massive lead, so much tempo in the map that it's EVHL who are now forced to be cautious of the range, of the poke, concealed from Edok, looking for a play, just zoning them away from the mid lane. Toy is dishing out a lot of damage as he sieges the tier 2 in the mid lane.
Yeah, seeing that the high loss hasn't even hit level 10, just about to, the damage. There's already 2 BOTs on the side of RRQ Hoshi. Damn straight they have to be aggressive.
Feather airstrike as well. Regi's still able to escape just a bit. Wait, the dragon though, catching Sutsujin, not enough to take him down. It's Toy with the mega kill. And now in the mid lane, EVHL forced to commit the holy defense of that turret. It will be RRQ looking for another. Spatial migrations, Key goes in for the G Kundo. Off position, now gun down, flicker out! But the Sky Piercer from Toy takes him out of the map.
Key overheated, man. The Key overheated. He felt really good in the early game. He was able to get some nice trades, some good pickoffs as well, get the information, the early pressure onto RRQ Hoshi. But RRQ Hoshi responded very well. Every time they see anyone within their big range of poke, they poke them down and they punish them.
Erlan, heavy crossbow already. You can see the shadow kill in the back as well, almost taking Regi down. Rins wings by wings, hovering to zone them away. Meanwhile, Toy given the space to take these turrets for free.
I know it isn't a numerical value, but that is an oof amount of damage at this point. There's not much you can do against an oof amount of damage.
Diversion, Key not able to find Jikundo, now popped in a wrong position. Tyron walks back up and Rins gets the kill. Regi tanking it up, Depizet purifies out but gets bombed and Toy gets the monster. Now Airline walking forward with a nature. Oh, Toy's still able to kite away and he finds another kill. A double for Rins, Albert slain by Sutsujin, and RRQ Hoshi have just wiped EVHL out.
Well, RRQ Hoshi's looking good. Doubts against Toy, well, that's pretty much been answered. 7-0-5, not gonna be surprised if he's MVP. EVHL can just go, holy. All right, let's just see what we can do in game 2.
Boy, this is quite a game. I mean, ending the game with 10,000 gold disparity. What the hell is going on with EVHL?
Toy is going on. 11.8 in his debut LAN performance. What a performance.